The reason why I'm running, the reason why I decided to run now, is probably for a lot of the same reasons everybody is here tonight. That I felt that at all levels of government, what the voters wanted was not being represented by anybody at county, at state, especially at the federal. I think it's time that we put more, they call them citizen politicians or citizen candidates, into office. People that are part of the communities, people that were business owners and teachers and professionals, and these are the people we need to lead us, not career politicians. I'll throw out a couple numbers of things I'm concerned about. The person I'm running against, Larry Walker, there's only 2 of us in the race. He's been a politician for 32 years. He's been in the system for a long, long time. I was just talking to somebody tonight. The computer system that they have is 27 years old. I didn't even know they had computers 27 years ago, but apparently the system that's running all of our finances, a $5 billion budget, is 27 years old. That needs to be redone. That fits in with my experience really well. I'm a lifelong accountant, lifelong business owner, and for about 10 years I was a contract programmer, mostly for Boeing, programming process control systems for the C-17. So I know big computer systems and I know how to redo them, and that's something that really needs to be done. We don't need our...
Then he came back because of Bill Postma's previous assistant had resigned or retired, and he was recommended by that person. But I would like to correct what I believe needs fixing in the assessor's office. Take the office back to where it was before Bill Postma came on board. And a lot of other things, rumors that things that need fixing. There's been rumors for years. People have come up to me personally and told me that they wish they had more training as commercial industrial appraisers. And because of that, they felt that they were not comfortable with the income approach to value, which is really what we should be doing 100%. We're already doing it to some degree, but we don't know exactly to what extent. But when I retired, I interviewed 50% of the Ontario new people that were hired that had been there for 4 months, and they couldn't answer a basic concept question of the income approach. And if we don't fix that, we're going to be undervaluing big commercial properties in the tune of millions of dollars. And we can't afford to lose those revenues. This state, county is in a crisis. School district needs those funds, city, local cities. So I look at the assessor's office from the trenches because that's where I was. And I look at the tools that people need to do a better job because we're not going to get a lot more people. But I'm aware of a computer program that we had at one time that was created by somebody in the West End, but it wasn't embraced by the main office. And it's a shame because we were allowed to use that program in Ontario, and it really allowed us to get the work done. In spite of the fact, probably the last 5 years that I worked overtime from 7 to 7, maybe 5 months out of the year, because that was the only way we could get the value on the roll.
So 25 in the assessor's office, 10 in the treasurer's tax collector's office. I started my career as an appraiser trainee. I've held most of the appraisal positions in the office. I've been the principal appraiser, I've been the chief appraiser, assistant assessor, and now the assessor. In the tax collector's office, I held the positions of chief of tax collections and assistant tax collector. I was appointed by the Board of Supervisors last July. I was actually brought back to the office in November of 2008 to assist in bringing stability and integrity to the office after the large corruption scandal I'm sure all of you are aware about. I think I've accomplished that. There is stability in the office. We're doing the job we were all hired to do. All the positions that Bill Postma's created, the political appointees, they've all been eliminated from the assessor's office. And if I'm elected, I'll continue to make sure that we stay on an even keel providing service to the public. Now, what have I done since I was appointed assessor? Well, last year we lowered the assessments on about 190,000 properties under what we call Prop 8 because the current taxable value was greater than the market value. This year the staff is working to reduce somewhere between 220 and 240,000 properties. And that's quite a workload. That's a workload above beyond what's normal. We're accomplishing it with modernized computer mass appraisal systems, both in the commercial and industrial and the residential areas. What will I do if I'm elected to the office? What will I continue to do? Well, stability and integrity is number one. Number two, this is a new office this year that you're voting for, assessor recorder. I will lead the charge on the consolidation of the two offices. And one of the changes that I will make that doesn't exist today is the recorder's office just exists in San Bernardino. If I'm elected assessor recorder, those services will be provided in outlying district offices at no additional cost to the taxpayers, because there's enough staff in San Bernardino to be put out into the outlying areas, probably start out in Victorville, Rancho Cucamonga, and eventually I hope to have an office right here in Big Bear. Currently have an assessor's office. Why not have the recorders there also so that you don't have to drive down the mountain to do that? I'm the only candidate I think that has the experience, the knowledge, and the integrity, and most importantly is I work for you. Thank you.
It's time for change, and why I say that is because of the issues at hand. Number one, San Bernardino County has the worst dropout rate, not only in the county, but in the state. Number two, quality of education is the second issue. Number three, accountability. And the last is the decreasing rate of graduates. If we look at these issues, we know, for those of us who have gone to school in the good old days, that if there is no education, or if a person has no education, they will suffer the rest of their life. They will suffer a tragedy. There is no life, there is no future, there's no equal opportunity, there is no fun when you're working two jobs and trying to support your home and your family. And so therefore I say to you as a candidate, what I want to do is put the students first. We have good parents, we have good students, and good teachers. But we have also students at risk, and especially those that are dropping out. The projected dropout rate for San Bernardino City Unified is 8,000 to 10,000 students this year alone. For the county, from Needles to Chino, 1/4 of 400,000. 100,000 students are expected to drop out. The question is, we cannot allow it. We cannot allow it because they are our future. We cannot allow it because we know what education means if you don't have it. And if we really are Americans and believe in democracy and home and family, then we know that we must put our students first, and that we must put forth quality education, pre-K, getting back to the basics, having educational centers, having academies of vocational education. The idea of allowing anyone to drop out says we need to get to the 21st computerized technology programs. We need to get back to English and science and mathematics and reading. In educational centers, we must pick up those that have dropped out. We must give classes, advanced classes, to those students who are ready, and to give classes to teachers so they can have their degree and their credential. But last of all, we have to also help the parent. We must give classes so they can help themselves. I say to you that the only way to solve this problem is to vote for me. Thank you.